Hi there. Today, I want to talk about how to nail your app critique in UX job interviews by doing an app critique on Instagram. I would also love to host a free one-on-one app critique giveaway for my YouTube subscribers. My name is Soy, and I'm a UX designer at Google. I am very glad to see you here today. On my channel, I am dedicated to all things about UX job interviews and product design. So if you're interested in this content, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button so that you won't miss my future videos. I'm also offering one-on-one career coaching to help you nail your next job interview. If you want to get more interview advice, do a mock interview, or just talk about career development in general, feel free to use the link down below and sign up for a session. I know you are very excited about the free one-on-one app critique giveaway that I mentioned earlier. I will pick one of my YouTube subscribers to do this app critique with me for free. And in the session, basically, we're going to spend the first 30 minutes to do a mock app critique interview. And then I will provide personalized advice on how to improve your app critique skills based on your performance. The rules for entering this game is the same as before. You just need to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and comment down below to let me know that you are interested in this free giveaway. Okay, let's get to the beef of this video. Last year, during my interviews, I have done 9 app critiques in total. I failed the very first one, but by practicing really hard, eventually I passed the rest of all the other app critiques. So right now, I can very confidently say that I'm very good at app critiques, and I want to share my tips to help you ace your app critiques during interviews. App critiques could be intimidating to many people because it is scary. I mean, you're put on the spot to talk about things that you're not sure whether or not they sound right to interviewers. If you're not certain about things you say, you might feel nervous, and this anxiety might constrain you from bringing your best self during a job interview. So I'm going to share my experience of how I passed those app critiques, and hopefully you will find these tips to be very useful. First of all, let's talk about what is an app critique. What are some of the common apps that are used for critiques? And what are some different types of app critiques I've done during interviews? An app critique usually lasts from 30 minutes to 45 minutes.
Here's an app critique instruction from one of my interviews. You and the interviewer would decide on an app to critique together. You don't need to and shouldn't prepare for this ahead of time. Stay out of your own use case and critique visual design, interaction, and overall architecture.
Let me demystify the instructions for you. Usually, you and the interviewer are going to choose an app that both of you are familiar with and are installed on your phone.
Some of the common apps for critique are Spotify, YouTube, Google Map, Yelp, Gmail, and Medium.
As you can see that these are some of the common apps that we use on a daily basis. Both you and the interviewer have a very good understanding of how they work. Critiquing on a popular app is going to make it easier for the interviewer to assess your skill set. The other thing I want to point out here is that usually company wouldn't ask you to critique their own products. So for example, let's say you're interviewing with Meta and you're doing app critique with them. They wouldn't ask you to critique on products like Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or Messenger. Keep that in mind and choose an app wisely. Practice or not. Although in an instruction, a recruiter would usually tell you not to prepare ahead of time, that's all lies, and I'm sure that for anyone who is able to pass an interview would still need certain levels of interview preparation. So if you really want to pass the app critique, I highly recommend you to practice using a framework. And we're going to get to the framework part later in this video. What are the different types of app critiques? Most app critiques are you leading the conversation of critiquing an app, and the interviewer would ask you some questions during the critique. But I remember when I was interviewing with Brex, their app critique was like a combination of an app critique and a whiteboard exercise. So basically in the first 30 minutes, I critique on an app, and in the next 30 minutes, I redesign the app based on what I suggested the app could do better. So just keep in mind that there are different types of app critiques, and as long as you point out things that you think don't quite make sense in the app design, be prepared to answer questions like, what would you do to improve it? Okay, and then let's go over how an interviewer would assess candidates during an app critique. The purpose of this type of interview is for an interviewer to understand how candidates communicate their design thinking process. So you want to show your critical thinking by touching on interaction design, visual design, and product thinking. Now that we know what interviewers are looking for, let's talk about how to prepare for an app critique and what are some examples of critiquing on visual design, interaction design, and showing our product thinking. The key to address your uncertainty about what you say during app critique is to use a framework. Using a framework means following a structure to critique an app. A framework would help you organize what you're going to say in app critique so that you won't do rambling talk. It would also help you to identify the strengths and the weakness of an app. Here's a simple framework I would recommend. Step number 1, start off by giving the interviewer some context of what you're going to say. You could do a brief overview of this app by talking about what exactly is this app, who are the end users, what are some of the problems that the app is trying to solve, and how the app is currently solving these problems. Take Instagram as an example. I would do an overview by saying that Instagram is a social media platform that provides fun and creative ways to connect people. The target audiences are mostly Gen Z and millennials. The problem Instagram is trying to solve is that before Instagram, young people found it very difficult to stay connected due to distance and a lack of mutual interest, etc.
Instagram breaks the physical barriers to communication, brings people closer together, and builds relationship by allowing people to creatively capture, edit, and share photos, videos, and messages to discover meaningful content and mutual interests with their connections.
Step number 2. After setting up the context by doing an overview, I would then pick one of the user flows and use it as an anchor to organize what I'm going to say and also talk about the user goals before critiquing an app. In the Instagram example, a user flow could be a Gen Z user is trying to share a photo of their puppy with their friends. And their goal could be they wanted to easily create this post and then get attention and reactions from the community. Step number 3. With your user flow in mind, it's easier for you to critique the app in a very organized and storytelling way. I will then follow the user flow to critique the visual design, interaction design, and communicate my product design thinking. To show your product thinking, you could critique the information architecture, the layout, and business decision of an app. I'm going to give an example of how to critique the information hierarchy.
For example, I would say I'm going to create a post, and I noticed that the create button is in the top right location of the app, right next to the like button and the message entry point. In most social apps, the create button is placed in a very noticeable location, such as in the middle of a bottom nav bar. But on Instagram, the reels button is located in the middle of the bottom nav. I think this is because on the business strategy side, Instagram is promoting short videos to expand the market, and they want more users to explore the Reels by making the entry point to Reels easy to discover. This design aligns with their business goals and might help them get more Reels users.
On the visual design side, you could critique typography, iconography, color choices, and consistency.
I might say once I select a photo and then tap on next, I see that I have a few filter options. On the top, I see that there is a magic wand icon. I'm not quite aware that this icon is tappable until I try tapping on it. And then I realized that the icon is actually the entry point for adjusting how heavy I'd like the filters to be, but without any indication or what the icon is for, I might miss the icon and don't know I can use it to adjust the filter. Or on the accessibility side, without any labels or any other visual clues to help users understand how to use it, it might just fail to support users to perform their task.
On the interaction design side, you could talk about how users could navigate the app and interact with different components.
In the Instagram example, I might say since one of the users' goals is to get attention and reactions from the community by posting this puppy picture, the interaction design for the hashtag feature can really help users achieve such a goal. I can add hashtags that's related to the post, and in the drop-down list, the hashtags are ranked in the order of how many posts have it. The ranking has good affordance and would help users quickly select popular hashtags that would reach a broader audience and get more attention for the post. One thing that Instagram could do better might be, from an efficiency of use perspective, they might want to explore the interaction of keeping the drop-down menu stay open after selecting one hashtag, in case users usually want to add a few similar hashtags in a row. But we'd always need research and design validations to understand if users really have such needs.
I'm going to share two very important tips on how to prepare for an app critique. The first tip I would like to share with you is to critically think the intention of design decisions. When you see something that is very interesting or off to you in an app, ask yourself why the company designed it in that way. And then communicate your thought process with the interviewer to help them understand how you think. For any type of interview, if you want to nail it, you need to practice hard. Use the framework you develop and try to use it on a different app every time you practice, so that even if you and an interviewer end up choosing an app that you have never prepared, you get used to critiquing any apps on the spot, and this is going to relieve your anxiety during an app critique. So that's everything I wanted to share with you all today. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumb up. And if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.